welcome to part 3B of Combating Medical Tyranny. And today, the People's Lawyer, that's yours truly, is looking at a particularly powerful tool, which is conditional acceptance. And it's something that you can use for your employer or for your surgery, doctor's surgery, or in any situation in which you find yourself requested to have a vaccine in order to continue in some kind of normality. So let's have a look at this letter of conditional acceptance. It says at the top, GP, medical staff or employer, it could equally say employer, pursuant Article 6, Universal Declaration on Bioethics and Human Rights, UDBHR 2005. And data subject access request pursuant Article 15 General Data Protection Regulation. So it's a powerful tool which combines the laws of contract and the privacy protection laws, data protection laws. So it starts, Dear Dr. Mr. Mrs. Ms. Delete where applicable, I'm writing to notify you that I shall only offer my consent to be vaccinated upon strict condition, or upon condition it says here, but upon condition, but you can put strict. Remember, you'll be able to get a resource if you know where to look. We'll give you a clue at the end of this clip. Know exactly where. It should be in the description box. People have been asking me to put key resources in the description box on YouTube, but there are others places where you can find it as well. So upon strict condition that the answers to each and every single question set out below is in the affirmative. So there's the condition that you have to have. There are going to be 10 questions. They need to give you 10 affirmative answers. Otherwise, they will not have your consent. And without your consent, they can do nothing. And all reasoning, so you're also going to ask them for their reasoning for one or two of the answers, well, more than one or two actually. Requested, supplied to me as soon as reasonably practicable. Question 1. Are you, doctor, this would be normally, exercising your duties as a medical doctor as laid out by the GMC, that's General Medical Council, and do you stand by that at all material times? So here you're putting them under pressure. You're not specifically mentioning the Hippocratic Oath, but you're putting them under professional pressure to conform to the highest possible standard on your behalf. Yes or no, circle your answer. Question 2, are you satisfied beyond reasonable doubt that the COVID vaccine is sufficiently safe and effective for mass rollout without a marketing license? So there you're asking them to, and when you see a bold, so the question 2 is in bold, that's going to be one of the questions that you ask for specific evidence to support their answer yes. If they're satisfied, they have to show, they can't just say they're satisfied, they have to prove why they are satisfied that the vaccine is safe, even though it doesn't have a marketing license and it hasn't been fully trialed and fully tested, not even on animals. Question 3. Are you satisfied that a COVID vaccine is even necessary with the generally accepted survival rate from COVID-19 being around 99.96%? That percentage, by the way, is overall. If you go down the age range, the survival rate under 60, for example, is as close as 100% as you can possibly get, 99.99 something. So why are we being vaccinated for something that doesn't kill anyone? And the vast majority of recorded deaths being in the elderly and those with severe comorbidities. Again, circle your answer. And that's another question that they will, if they put yes, they will have to back up their yes with proof. Question 4, do you agree that the vaccination campaign amounts to a human experiment according to Nuremberg Code Article 6, there being an absence of trials on animals that show its safety and efficacy, and that my fully informed consent is therefore essential pursuant to Article 6, Universal Declaration on Bioethics and Human Rights, UDBHR, 2005. Circle your answer. Question 5. Are you satisfied beyond reasonable doubt that refusing access to services against a person who does not agree to the COVID-19 vaccine is not an act of discrimination pursuant to equality and disability legislation? This would be more aimed at the NHS generally or against your employer, rather than specifically your doctor. I think we've already, I think the previous questions would be enough to put your doctor in an unenviable position, catch-22 position, and you will probably get a call saying, no, it's fine, you don't need a vaccine or whatever. But for an employer, you have to take it a bit further and talk about discrimination. I know some people that have been moved sideways because they will not take a test or have a vaccine. They're not dismissed. They're just moved into an area where there's where social distancing can be maintained more compliantly, or an act of socio-economic and moral repression against natural common law principles of sovereignty in living men and women. So again, you're asserting your status as a man or woman. Question 6, do you have in your possession or control reliable data, independently verified, detailing the precise ingredients in the COVID vaccine? Again, yes or no. Because there's an awful lot of non-disclosure going on, and nobody knows exactly what's in the vaccine, and those who do know are not telling and not making it public. As a plant-based man myself, even if I thought for 1 minute the vaccine was safe, which of course I don't, I wouldn't take it because it's not vegetarian or vegan friendly. In fact, it's not friendly to most religions, really, if you think about it. Some of the ingredients are, to say the least, dubious, and that's putting it very mildly. Question 7. Are you satisfied beyond reasonable doubt as a medical doctor or professional or employer that such vaccine ingredients shall not individually or collectively cause me adverse psychological and or physical reactions? Yes or no? Question 8. Are you prepared to sign a personal indemnity for the benefit of myself and or my heirs, next of kin, upon full unlimited liability in your private capacity for any physical, psychological or financial harm or loss of life experienced by me from adverse reactions following upon my taking the untested COVID-19 vaccine in 1 or repeated doses? Question 9, do you understand that concealment of data, now this is the data subject access part. Do you understand that concealment of data and blocking or willful refusal to provide data or information relating to our personal data is a criminal offence? So you've got them on medical grounds, you've shifted the burden of proof to them to prove that it's safe, that it's effective, that it's necessary, that they stand under their oath if they have one, that they are standing in honour, relying on independently verified data. And that's a civil matter, medical civil matter. But now you're upping the ante. If they are not standing on reliable data that they would happily rely on to vaccinate themselves or their family, then they're potentially committing a criminal offence, not disclosing data that they are privy to, which they're keeping from you, or misleading you with commercially available data, which is not medically reliable, which is not medically sound, because nothing has been proven. And this medical information is so unsound that the vaccine industry has asked for and been granted immunity from prosecution. So this is it would be a criminal offence under Data Protection Act 2018, Section 173. And here's the most powerful bit for the conditional acceptance part. Question 10, are you prepared to set out precise reasons upon independent evidence, affirmative answers to questions 2, 3, 5, and 7? So that's where you are really putting them in a corner. And to be honest, there is no way that they can justify answering in the affirmative yes to those questions or to many of them. And even if they can, then they won't find the proof or evidence that supports their yes answers. So this basically gets you off the hook. That's why we're calling it conditional acceptance rather than a refusal. Refusal is dishonorable at law, in commercial law. It's dishonorable and can get you into hot water. And if you're an employee, then you don't want to be refusing anything. You want to be accepting everything, but on strict conditions. Finally, kindly send me a reply autographed in wet ink within 1 calendar month in order to comply with data protection requirements. That is specifically Article 12 of the General Data Protection Regulation. And answer my concerns in honor and lawful transparency. Thank you. You sign it by, you autograph in blue. Autographing in blue, signing it by means that you're giving the letter power and agency. The contents are given agency. In other words, they're written by a man or woman who's autographing in blue as a sovereign. So that retains the power of the written word and keeps you in the driving seat or the driver's seat. You're not submitting to anything. You're not accepting anything except on strict conditions, and you're maintaining your integrity and power as a sovereign. Yes, this letter is so powerful. It is now being translated into European languages. The Czechoslovak is the first one that it's being translated into for use to send to by a doctor. A student of mine's mother is a doctor. She wants to use this herself. It is of international significance. Most of this will apply across the globe. Just check locally whether you have general data protection legislation or some kind of privacy legislation and adapt it accordingly. But it is an internationally valid tool. This is the power of the conditional acceptance. You must use it to your advantage because it will get you out of all kinds of situations, vaccine situations. In the next episode, we'll look at testing and possibly quarantine situations. So we hope that's been of value to you. Keep watching, keep subscribing, keep thumbing up, pressing the thumbs up button, which many of you are doing, and we really appreciate that. Watch out for the People's Lawyer UK, the People's Lawyer channel on Telegram, and coming soon, the website www.peopleslawyeruk.com. Thank you for tuning in. See you soon, and bye for now.